Hello there. If you were to ask me who some of my favorite actors are, you would probably get the expected choices. De Niro, Nicholson, Hoffman, Downey Jr., Chaplin. However, another one of my favorite actors is one who has never become a major box office screen force or been nominated for an Academy Award, although he does have a couple of Tonys. Although not the most popular actor out there, I think he's able to bring a certain charm to his roles, and if he appears in something, that plays a small part in upping my interest in seeing it. So today, I'm going to give this unappreciated thespian his due and count down my top favorite Matthew Broderick performances, starting with Sam in Addicted to Love. On the surface, this might seem like a typical romantic comedy, but it is different from the usual boy meets girl story, as Sam is trying to take back his ex-girlfriend by sabotaging her current relationship. This character could have come off as unlikable, but Broderick brings so much sympathy to this love-struck astronomer, you do kind of end up rooting for him. He also has some great chemistry with Meg Ryan, who gives some of the best work here. Speaking of which, whatever happened to Meg Ryan? Haven't seen her in anything for a while. Anyway, this is just one of many roles that Broderick brings a certain amount of likability to, and if you haven't seen this flick, it's worth a look. Inspector Gadget. Now, I understand both this film and his performance are extremely derided, and I see where the negative reaction is coming from. However, I still think he did a very nice job. Broderick does seem like an odd choice to take over a role originally voiced by Don Adams, but he helps in making Gadget his own. This is a man just getting used to becoming part cyborg, and I think he does a great job in conveying that. The special effects don't take away from the human performance underneath, so his mechanics being powered by heart doesn't seem too far-fetched to me anyway. He also handles the comic scenes with the right bumbling behavior we would expect from Inspector Gadget. Low critical score or not, I nonetheless give Broderick top mark. David Lightman in WarGames. The role that pretty much launched Broderick's career as a major film actor. He was 20 years old when he shot it, and immediately displayed a certain likable presence. The story of a teenager who accidentally plays with the mind of a supercomputer, he really does successfully embody the part of a young computer nerd, complete with quick-fingered typing. You really see in his facial expressions that he understands all the trouble he has caused, and along with the directing, plays a big part in raising the tension of the scenes. If you want to see some great early Broderick, this is definitely one to watch. Cooter in 30 Rock. Now, while it seems odd to put a one-off guest appearance on a television show, he really showcases his strong comedic timing here. Reteaming with his frequent co-star Alec Baldwin and is aided by Tina Fey's sharp writing, he is definitely at his most nebbish and vulnerable here. However, he also looks at everything with a straight face, despite disaster happening around him. The childlike glee he also brings to the part also plays a role in why I feel this is not only one of my favorite Broderick performances, but one of the best guest roles on 30 Rock. Brian Everett in You Can Count on Me. Now, I've mentioned that the roles he has played mostly consist of likable characters. However, if you want to see him stretch his wings by playing a completely despicable human being, look no further than his role as a bank manager here. Director-writer Kenneth Lonergan apparently offered Broderick this part first, and he gladly took it, obviously to take a break from his usual image. And this might be the first case of me hating a character he has played, which is a huge credit to his work here. Almost every action displayed here is like that of an authority figure letting the power go to his head, and you really do want to see Laura Linney just sock him in the face. Again, major rarity in a Broderick performance, and part of why this is up there with his best work. Simba in The Lion King. Even though he's playing the lead hero in a Disney animated film, that doesn't make his work any less complex and powerful. He actually has a difficult role to play here, as he needs to portray a young lion stuck with arrested development and still feeling guilty for a death he was not responsible for. He has to bring the pain out while still giving a jolly image while around his best friends, Timon and Pumbaa. The pain is especially evident when he sees the ghost of his father, and it's there that his strength and courage finally comes about. Not a lot of actors could have successfully shown that just with their voice, but Broderick does superbly. The only thing I don't quite understand about this performance is why he doesn't sing Simba's section during Can You Feel Love Tonight, considering he's a renowned Broadway actor who can sing. It's even more confusing in the sequel where Cam Clark does a note-perfect imitation of Broderick. Oh well, while some people prefer Jonathan Taylor Thomas as young Simba, I find myself liking Broderick's old interpretation more, now that I myself am an adult. Jim McAllister in Election. I mentioned before Broderick playing one terrible person, and here we have another person, though some of his motivation is at least understandable. Alexander Payne's razor-sharp satire on the pointlessness of school elections is the perfect material for Broderick, as he almost looks like a high school teacher nowadays. However, underneath Jim's cheerful demeanor is a man raging with anger towards Tracy Flick. His scenes with Tracy, also played excellently by Reese Witherspoon, only further show the tension between them. Yet maybe it's a credit to Broderick, but I never found myself hating Jim. Admittedly, what he does throughout the course of Election is wrong, but yet we still gain an odd bit of sympathy at the end. It's especially interesting to contrast him and Tracy, who is also a mixture of admirable and terrible. This is one of those films where the protagonists are very multi-layered, and one where your sides switch from one character to another, and Broderick does an excellent job of giving us that decision. Steve Schats in The Last Shot. One of the most underappreciated comedies of the past decade, this didn't even crack the $500,000 mark at the box office, but don't let that stop you from watching this hilarious satire on the film industry. About a director who thinks he is making his dream project, except it's actually a front for an FBI sting, Steve is one of Broderick's most relatable characters, as his passion for filmmaking is evident, and again, he makes him just so likable. His chemistry with Alec Baldwin is superb, and you see how the two slowly connect through the course of the film, and how Steve's enthusiasm has an influence on Baldwin's FBI agent. Steve is so sympathetic that you're almost scared to see the heartbreak from the inevitable scene where he finds out the whole production is fake. I know I've already recommended a ton of films for you to see so far, but this one is definitely a must, I think, as I think it deserves a much bigger audience than it has received. Leo Bloom in The Producers. I was not able to see his Tony-nominated stage performance, so I only have the film adaptation to go on, but who could not like Leo Bloom? His dream of being a producer could ring true for anybody, no matter what the profession. That's a large part of why I want to be a producer, and might just be my favorite scene in The Producers. While he is taking on a role originally played on the screen by the great Gene Wilder, Broderick is smart to make the character his own and not copy Wilder's mannerisms, even in the famous Blue Blanket scene. Not only does he get the comic inflections down, this is also the biggest proof how much of a song and dance man Broderick is. Plus, there is his amazing chemistry with Nathan Lane's Max Bialystock, as the two play off each other extremely well to the point where you believe these two are best friends. And again, one of my favorite scenes is when they sing in the fountain in Central Park. Whether you find The Producers offensive, and I completely understand why some people do, even they'll admit that Leo Bloom is a great character full of wide-eyed enthusiasm, strongly played by Matthew Broderick. And my favorite Matthew Broderick performance of all time is, say it with me now, Bueller. Bueller. That's right, Ferris Bueller. Next to Simba and Leo Bloom, this is the role pretty much everybody connects with Broderick, and why not? This is a character that could easily come off as a jerk, but with the perfect casting of Broderick, he lays on the right amount of charm. As aided by John Hughes' brilliant screenplay, Ferris is the ultimate teen hero, and frankly, who wouldn't want to have a day out with him? I mean, what else is there to say? He's Ferris Bueller. When even those who don't like Broderick like his work in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you know this isn't number one.